A graph is a collection of vertices, also called as nodes, and edges that connect these vertices. Unlike a tree which follows a parent-child hierarchy, a graph can represent complex relationship between nodes including cyclic connections. A graph G is defined as an ordered pair G of V and E, where V of G is the set of vertices and E of G is the set of edges connecting these vertices. For example, consider a graph G of VE with vertices V is equal to A, B, C, D, E. Edges is equal to AB, BC, CE, ED, DB and DA. The graph is represented in the diagram here, showing how each vertex is connected by the specified edges. This is the undirected graph. There are two types of graphs, directed and undirected graph. In an undirected graph, edges do not have directions, meaning they allow traversal in both directions between the connected vertices. The graph shown here is the example of an undirected graph, as its edges are not associated with any specific direction. For instance, if an edge exists between the vertices A and B, it is possible to traverse from A to B as well as B to A. Directed graph. In directed graph, edges are represented as ordered pairs, indicating a specific direction from one vertex to another. An edge from vertex A to vertex B implies a path that can only be traversed in that direction. Here, A is referred to as the initial node and B is called terminal node. Now let us see the graph terminology. Path. A path is a sequence of nodes that are traversed in order to reach a terminal node V from an initial node U. Closed path. A path is considered a closed path if the initial node is the same as the terminal node. In other words, V0 is equal to Vn. Simple path. A path is called a closed simple path if all its nodes are distinct, except that the first node and last nodes are the same, that is V of 0 is equal to V of n. Cycle. A cycle is a path in which no edge or vertex is repeated, except for the first and last vertices. A graph is connected if there exists a path between every pair of vertices in the graph. Connected graphs do not have isolated nodes. Complete graph. A complete graph is one where every vertex is connected to every other vertex. A complete graph with n nodes contains n in the bracket of n minus 1 by 2 edges. Weighted graph. In a weighted graph, each edge has associated value, such as cost or distance. The weight of an edge is denoted as W of E, and it represents the cost of traversing that edge. Digraph. A digraph or directed graph is a graph where each edge has a direction, meaning traversal can only happen in that specified direction of edge. Loop. An edge that connects a vertex to itself is called a loop. Adjacent nodes. Two nodes U and V are called adjacent or neighbor nodes if there exists an edge E connecting them. Degree of node. The degree of node is the number of edges connected to it. A node with a degree of 0 is called an isolated node.